One of the hardest crossroads in life is when you want it, but you also want to hold back. That stands very true for anyone who receives sexual urges while practicing abstention. There are two kinds of people here that are trying to control their sexual urges and desires. The first one is someone who is experiencing a breakup or a separation. In this situation, our emotions want to be pampered to fill up spaces of self-doubt, of grief, and of sadness. The options are available, however, you choose to fight the immoral urges and continue to be dedicated in working on getting your partner back. That's good. The second is the one who is single, out of choice or out of circumstance. Here again, you have the options to sleep around without guilt since you have not committed to any single person. However, you don't for your own reasons, and whatever those reasons are, they must be good. Today, we will talk about how to keep those feelings away, which will from time to time overpower you to the point of surrender. It's okay. It's all in the mind. These are tactics to move yourself out from this state and back into a state of nonchalant, externally and internally. Okay, so let's talk about it. Between the time you feel aroused and the time you want to take action, there is some time in between. It could be a few seconds if you're talking about helping yourself, or it could be an entire day if you are trying to get with someone else. That time in between, that is the most crucial and sensitive moment. It's what you do here at this moment that defines if you have a strong mindset or a weak mindset. Remember, the objective here is to discipline yourself and not to punish yourself. And with that said, everyone knows their own libido levels and resistance power. So stay strong as long as you can. Discipline yourself. But when you feel the commitment is moving into punishment, then you must take a step back from your discipline or commitment and have an open and logical conversation with yourself in these steps. Ask yourself these 4 questions, and each question has a score of 1 or 2. Okay? So here's what you ask yourself when your sexual urges linger around and don't want to go away. Number 1, how much do you need it? Can it wait? Yes is 1, no is 2. Go ahead and write down your answer. Can it wait? If yes, it's a 1. If no, it's a 2. Okay? Question number 2 that you ask yourself. Is it physical or is it emotional emptiness that you feel? If it's physical, then score yourself a 1. If it's emotional, then score yourself a 2. Question number 3. Are you strong enough to get physical but not feel any attachment and walk away straight away when your problem is taken care of? If it's a yes, then give yourself a 1. If it's a no, then give yourself a 2. And number 4, the last question. Ask yourself this one last time. Are you strong enough to fight the urge? If it's a yes, give yourself 1. If it's a no, then it's a 2. If your total score is not an 8, then you still have it in you to abstain another week or even 1 more day, because you still have not hit the 8 score, the danger zone. So keep asking yourself these questions every time you have the urge. And if you haven't hit an 8, you still have that extra stride. You still have that extra day. Take advantage of it. These exercises and mental games are important in delaying and postponing sexual encounters caused by sexual urges. Okay? And the very first thing is to be aware that you are having sexual thoughts. To be aware that your body is beginning to get aroused, and feelings of little sparks in your abdomen all tells you You need sex. At that moment, change the view, change the focus, change the mood, and the thoughts will begin to change. Sexual thoughts can only be held on to for a few minutes. It's the pleasure we seek from those thoughts that make us remain in those thoughts for hours and days, which then convert those thoughts into requirements for reality. Okay? Distracting yourself and changing the view and the mood will definitely work well, but only the first few times. Then what happens is the brain will catch up to what you are doing, and then getting rid of these sort of thoughts gradually become a bit more challenging. And then sadly from there, no matter what you do in order to kill or distract your desires, it won't work. You would be restraining yourself from sex, but as a result, you would be walking around angry and frustrated all day, and that could have monstrous repercussions. So let the thoughts come in. Maybe of a previous partner, maybe it's just regular sexual thoughts. You know, you don't have to do anything about it, really. You don't have to distract your thoughts nor entertain it. In a few minutes, in a few moments, the thoughts will go away and you can carry on doing your task. Don't force yourself to get rid of it, and don't force yourself to overthink it. It's really that simple. Just let it flow. And then there are going to be days that the urges to feel human connection is so intense. It's not about sex, but rather just warmth of another human close to you. In those moments, get up from wherever you are and change the plan for the entire day, because these thoughts is not going to leave you. This is not an itch in your pants that you can simplistically resolve. Now you miss basic human connection and warmth. Maybe some affection, okay? In all honesty, this is even more complicated to deal with than sexual urges. And that's why, if you feel the absolute requirement to hold someone or be near someone or exchange warmth through closeness, you feel fragile and you need to be huddled, then you must immediately change the mood drastically, because right now you are in a fragile emotional situation. Call your mom, go visit her, call a friend, go to someone who you don't need to explain anything to. Just go and fill that empty space that is troublesome for you at the moment. Getting involved and attached to family, close communities, places where you will naturally feel the warmth and love of people around you is very much required when distracting yourself and refraining from sexual human connection. The empty space inside of you must be filled in a moral way, or else you will be in another's bed in just a few days. Okay? And that is the truth. You need to change your environment. If you think you can keep going back to the nightclubs or strip bars or wherever you know there will be easy access to drunk people who want to have sex, then you must change in that environment. Now, with everything said, it's important to understand that sexual desires is a part of the human DNA, the human personality, the human biology, the human psychology. Sexual desires are in no way at all wrong. No normal human on this planet can admit that they have never had a sexual urge. Everyone has gotten horny at some point. That is the truth. So urges are unpredictable. They make no announcements before arriving. However, your responses, your actions on these urges can be predictable. They can be prepared for. They can be pre-planned, and actually should be intentionally well guarded by you. I have in many sessions spoken about the benefits of abstention and refraining from sexual encounters. You can understand more by clicking the link on the screen that is showing up right now. Continuously keep yourself busy. Make a disciplined schedule for yourself. Fill that schedule with activities that level you up and keep you away from the opposite sex. It's that simple. The schedule should include time at the gym, time for learning new information online, time for meeting positive friends, time for everything constructive and nothing idle. When you start becoming idle, that's when unwanted thoughts start visiting your head. Know this. It's really that simple. Be conscious. Be ready to distract yourself. Make a packed schedule. Stay away from places and people that offer sex easily. Stick to your goal, okay? I do not promise you it will be easy, but I do promise you that it will be so worth it, especially when you find someone you can truly align with you in your beliefs, okay? Remember that there is nothing more attractive than a man who does not need sex until values in a relationship are established. Do watch the other videos where you will find a spectrum of ideas for yourself and how to level up. Be safe, be positive, and keep making the wise decisions.